Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. And how is everybody today? We're going to make bok choy soup. I got a few things I got to do today. I got grandkids coming this weekend. I got my freezer loaded with, little meals for them. I want to make bok choy soup. I'm also going to make them, and it's going to be a different video, but I am going to make a lunch lady pizza, the big square half sheet pan pizzas that we used to have in school. Oh my gosh, my kids love them. So my grandkids love them, I'm sorry. And my kids, for that matter. We're going to make that too. But this video, right now, right here, we're going to make bok choy soup. And let me tell you, I make it different every single time I make it. So it's really hard for me to list a recipe in the description box because there really is no recipe. It just depends on what I'm hungry for. You can make it any way you want. But we are also going to make a pan of my big batch brownies. And I'll put that recipe in the description box. And I know a lot of you have seen me make it several times, but there's some of you who are new who've never seen that, and they're delicious. I make them every summer. I make just tons of them for my market stand, and I can never seem to keep them on the shelves, which I don't want to. I want them to sell. But anyway, for right now, we're going to do bok choy soup. And with today's soup, I'm going to use chicken. I'm going to make chicken in mine. Sometimes I just do it vegetarian, but today, in this weekend, because it's Friday, I'm going to have it throughout the weekend. My grandkids love it too. We're going to use chicken. So I got some chicken here. We're going to boil it. And we're also going to we're going to keep the broth. We're going to use that too. I'll just have to strain it. And you can see behind me, I got a whole table full of veggies that it's going to go in there. Not all of them, they won't all fit, but a little bit here and there. Okay. Every single time I start a video, my phone rings. That's life. All right, so if I can get this open, I'm going to use thigh meat. So I'm going to keep my legs. Maybe I'm going to use legs too. Looks like I'm going to use legs too. So I don't have a lot of thighs. Oh, I got 3 thighs in there. I'm going to use all the thighs. I'm going to use about 4 legs. I want it meaty. You know what? For that matter, I'm putting the other 2 in. You can do that. All right, so I saved these because I can reuse those. And somebody asked me, do you reuse your bags if you use meat in them? Yes, I scrub them out. Wash them out with soap and water, especially my reusable ones. Most of them are dishwasher safe. You run them through the dishwasher, that screaming hot water and that soap, it's going to clean them out just fine. You can reuse them. It won't hurt anything as long as you wash them. So let me get some water in here. We're going to get this on the stove. I'm not going to put anything except a little salt and pepper in here. So let me get some water in it. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to boil them in chicken broth because I'm going to keep this for my soup. So I want that extra flavoring. So let's boil these up in some chicken broth. And I only had like 1 jar of chicken broth left when I made this from the legs and thighs that I got on sale. Dropping everything out of my drawer. So this is my fresh broth. You know what? I hate that thing. I could give that thing away. That's easier. Perfect. All right. I'm going to leave the fat right in there. And I'm going to boil both of these. I got the dropsies today. All right. We're going to see how wonderful. I bet that's going to turn out beautiful. I've never done this before. I have never boiled it in broth. But I bet you, I'd bank on it. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to do a little salt and a little pepper in here. About a good teaspoon of each. And that's all we're going to do with that. And I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to let this cook up. Okay, we got loads of veggies. We got onions and peppers that are already chopped. So I'm going to set them right over here because we'll be using them. We got some mixed vegetables that are good. We've got the spinach. I believe it's already washed. Yeah, because you can cook it right in the bag, so it's already washed. We've got, I don't think I'm going to use this carrot because I've got carrots in my mixed veggies. So this is going to go back in the fridge. Okay, so I got the big bok choy, which I need to wash up in the sink here. We're not going to use all of it, but we'll be using some of that. In fact, I'll get these washed up because I'm going to peel the rutabaga, and I want to wash up these Brussels sprouts. I don't know if they're already cleaned or not. A lot of times they wash them because you can see them in the bag. Hello.
Hello. Hello, friend.
We're making bok choy soup. Your favorite. Oh, yeah, you won't eat it.
That's good stuff.
He won't touch it.
Oh, it's delicious.
He won't touch it. But I'm going to get these veggies cleaned and I'll be right back. And then we'll get them chopped up. Alrighty, I got those draining. We're going to peel this. If we can, with my big peeler. I got a big daddy peel. I got big daddy everything. I got a big daddy bowls, big daddy pans, big daddy peelers. It gets the job done. All right. Look at how nice this thing peels. I love this thing. You're going to ask me where I got this. It's enormous. It's good for cabbage, too. I got this. I'll put a link to it. It's not from Amazon. I got this from that. Chris from City Girl Homestead is an affiliate for, I think it's Temu. I don't know what the name of it is. But I clicked on her link for it, and I ordered some goodies, and I love the stuff I got from there. This was only a few bucks, and it works like a dream. Look how nice it peels that. So check out her channel, and when you check out her channel, tell her I said hi, Chris from City Girl Homestead, and click on her link. It's amazing the things you get on there. And I think she was saying, now don't quote me, I think she was saying the first, your first order has like 15% off. I believe. Let me wash this. But don't quote me. But you could check it out. I love this thing. Works like a dream. Okay. I'm going to cut this up. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to use all this in here though. I'm only going to use probably half of it because I'm not making that huge of a pan. But these are, I love rutabaga in soup. It's like potatoes in soup. I love them. And I just dice it up fairly small. Okay. See, about yay size. Okay, we got that. And that's how we're going to use that. Those will be nice. All right, so and then I got these mushrooms. We're just going to slice these in thirds, halves, whatever. I like chunks. Sometimes I leave them whole, sometimes not. You can put anything you want in this soup. But the bok choy is fantastic. It is so good for you. It has a lot of benefits. And I could list a few, but I couldn't list them all. But I will get my list out, and I will tell you when we're mixing up this soup, I'll read off to you all the benefits of bok choy. This is the cabbage that I had left over from the cabbage rolls and the cabbage lasagna. So I'm probably not going to use all of this either, but I want some of this in here. I love cabbage. I need my big one. And I just do it real thin because it falls apart in the soup, so I don't worry about making, dicing it or anything like that. I just chop it thin, cut it in half, and it's good to go. All right, so now set those aside because now we got, that's boiling too, so I need to turn that down a little bit. That's going to be good boiled up in that broth. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, I got it. I got it. Now I saved this. I'll put it in there. I saved those for my broth. When I make broth, I put garlic in there. Not all the time. Get off that only when I have it. But we're going to put a couple of these in here because I love garlic. That's going in there. Get that off my cutting board. Okay, come on, fella. Let's go. I know I could smash it. You know what I need to get a hold of is one of those things that you roll the garlic in. But you want to know what else I got? I will show you. We're going to see how good it works. I got something new. I got a new gadget. Where is it? Right here. I got this from that same place where I got my peeler. It's for garlic. So watch, we're going to... Oh yeah, that works pretty good. Then you peel it. No, I don't want it in there. Peel it out of there. No, I guess maybe I don't care for that. Look at that. It smashes it all right, but maybe it's okay. Nah, I don't know. I might not use that ever again. I like this way better. I want about 4 cloves of garlic in here. So we're going to smash these. Did you see that fly? That's life in the kitchen. Just give it a little chop. Throw it in there. I'll pick that other one up. I'll pick that other one up later. There we go. Watch your fingers. They got Kevlar gloves that you can use for cutting stuff up. It works pretty good. All right. I'm going to get all this put away because this is all we need to cut up right now. The chicken is boiling away. Turn my light on. It's cooking away, so I'll let that cook. This is going over here for our soup. Clean up my mess. I'm going to debone that chicken. And then when I get to that point, I'll bring you back and we'll put the soup together. No, that is not all that's going in my soup. I almost forgot the bok choy. Anyway, I use everything on the bok choy is edible. Every bit of this plant is edible. So I use the greens right along with everything else. And I just give it a nice chop. Okay. Sometimes I just fold it in half and give it a good chop. There we go. Let me get my bowl back over here. Looks like a whole lot to go in that pot, but you know this will all cook down. It'll be a very thick soup, but I love a thick soup. All right, I'm gonna put 2 more in there. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna make this easy. All right, we'll get this chopped up. Okay, that's good. Get my mess on my table. And you just know I'm gonna need a bigger pot. When you start out with a little pot of soup, you wind up with a gigantic pot of soup. That's just how it always works. Who can make a little pot of soup? I can start out with full intentions of making a little pot of soup, but I wind up with a 30-quart pan of soup. And then I gotta freeze dry it and freeze it, and oh well. If I have any left over this soup on Sunday, I'll just whip it in my freeze dryer. All right, we got that. And I'll decide before I bring it back if we're actually gonna need a bigger pot. And if we do a bigger pot, I'm gonna do the rest of this. I'll do it all up good, and then I'll freeze dry some. So, we'll see. Okay, friends. I got the Big Daddy pan out, and we're gonna saute these veggies. I like to have room to work with. Oh, I probably got about 3 good tablespoons of oil in there. We're gonna turn this on. Let that get hot. Okay, this will be good. Move this oil around in here. Let this get hot. I like to saute all my vegetables before I put them in my soup. Okay? And I've got onions. And these peppers are froze, so I want to put these in first. Oh, those smell wonderful. We're going to put just a few peppers in here, because I got peppers in my Asian stir fry that I'm also going to use. Oh my goodness, open up. Okay. I want a nice bunch of, I'm going to put the rest of them in there. There isn't that many left. Okay. Actually, I want a wooden spoon. Now we'll stir all these up. I'm going to wait to season until I get all of this in here. But I am going to put some of this Asian stir fry I have here. That's nice stuff. I'm going to put the rest of that in there. That's got the broccoli and the pea pods, little baby corn. That's all right. It can go in here and it'll be delicious. I want this on high. There we go. I'm loving the stove, friends. Absolutely love my stove. Look at there. This is going to be loads of veggies. And then we'll get these sauteed and cooked down a little bit. And then they'll go right in our soup. And you know what? Now, most likely I'm going to need a bigger pan. We'll see. And if we do, I got one. I got all different sizes. Okay. I got my stove light off and my other lighting on so you can see this real good. It's doing nicely. All right, I am just going to dump all that right in there. And that looks like a lot, but just like the cabbage and these greens, they'll all cook down nicely. The mushrooms will cook down. Okay, now I'm going to put a nice bunch of pepper in there, some salt in there. I've got garlic already in here. Okay, we're going to let that cook, and I'm going to go grab a few more spices. I'm going to put a little bit of rosemary in here. Nice little half teaspoon. I'm going to put a little bit of thyme in here. Oh, that smells so nice. That thyme is divine. And I'm also going to put parsley in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of cumin, because I love this stuff. I can't get enough of cumin. I put it in everything. It smells wonderful. Only there was smell-o-vision. Look at how beautiful that's doing. And my grandmother used to tell me all the time, when you make soup, saute your veggies first and season them up, because that is what gives it such wonderful flavor, is if you saute them first. So that's what we're going to do. And I put a few Brussels sprouts in here. So I want that to cook down pretty good and saute real nicely before we put it in our soup. Okay, now that these are all sauteed up, I got a bigger pan. We're going to go ahead and shut this off. And I'm going to put these in this pan before I put my chicken broth and my chicken meat in here. I'm trying not to make this noisy. It'll fit in here beautifully. Perfectly. And then all I'm going to do is what I have left over on Sunday, I'll put it right in the freeze dryer. And I'll freeze dry it. And then it'll be nice. It'll last. I got some already freeze dried downstairs. I got several soups that I have freeze dried that will last nice. All right, I'm going to take, I can lift this. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put this over here. Okay, so we got this together. We're going to dump this right on in here. And this is the broth and the chicken. Now, you know, it would have filled this little pan up probably right to the brim because it's about 3/4 of the way into this one. All right, now I'm going to turn this burner back on and I'm going to turn it down on low. This is going to simmer for a little bit and then we'll come back after it simmers for a little bit. It's got just enough. It's got enough juice and enough veggies in there. It's beautiful. Now I will put a little bit of that spinach in, but maybe a couple handfuls. And then we'll come back after that simmers for a little bit and we'll give it a taste test and see if we need to season it anymore. Okay, friends, you can see how nice that soup is doing. And I am just simply gonna let it simmer. It's beautiful. I am gonna put this little bag of mixed veggies in. Beautiful. I love it. This is what I call thick soup. Oh, it's gonna be divine. And I tell you what, you wouldn't think kids like this, but my grandkids love this stuff. They can't get enough of it. And I think the reason why they love it so much is because my mother used to make it for them all the time. And she'd put in rice or beans, which I probably will put some garbanzo beans and some black beans in this. And maybe a little bit more broth, because it is pretty thick. You've seen that. But it's good with the beans. I don't have to have the beans because I got the chicken in there. But when I do like a vegetarian style, I use the garbanzo beans and black beans, all kinds of beans. I'll just put whatever. And it'll make it nice. So I don't really have to have the beans with the chicken in it. So you know what? We're going to let that simmer. I'm going to put the lid on that. Oh, I wanted to put a little bit of... And there, I got a pea on there. I'm going to put a small handful of spinach in here.
Who are you talking to?
My video.
Oh, you recording yourself?
Yeah.
I'm not in it.
No, you're not in it. Yes, you are in it. We'll be right back. Okay, my house is a busy house. My friend brought me I call it the government cheese. It's like for you get it with commodities. It's the 2.5 pound bricks of cheese. She brought me 3 of them because I know a lot of people who can use those. So I'll just make a couple phone calls and that cheese will be gone. I had to put it in my fridge. But anyway, my house is a busy house. I got people that come and go quite a bit throughout the day. And that's all right. It's just fine. So you seen me, I put the spinach in there. Now I'm going to put the lid on. And we're just going to let that simmer and cook down. And all those beautiful flavors marry together. And we will be back in a little bit. And we'll give this a taste test. Season it up some more if we need to. And then it'll be ready to eat. Okay. Now, while the soup is simmering away, and I got it on really, really low, we're going to work on my big batch brownies. Now, I know some of you have already seen me make these before, and they're divine. I'm going to make another batch because my grandkids are going to be here all weekend, and I want to give them a homemade yummy, So they're going to be here before I even get this done. They're going to be rolling in here with Papa any minute. But I want to get this going so that they can have some brownies. We're having a slumber party. I told you that last week or the beginning of the week, that we're gonna have a slumber party this weekend. So I got my grandbabies, 3 of my granddaughters, all weekend. So right now, let's see, we need this burner right here. And I'm just gonna turn this on low so I can melt this. I don't need it on screaming hot. There we go. We're just gonna let that melt, and then we're gonna start this. So let's see. I'm gonna crack 7 eggs. Look at all these beautiful eggs. Aren't those gorgeous? I'm gonna crack 7 eggs right in here. Okay. Look at the size of some of my jumbo eggs. That thing's enormous. And if you've never made these before, these are wonderful. These are the ones that I make for my market stand, and I can never keep them on the shelf. They sell like crazy. I've got people that order whole sheet pans of them. 5. We got 2 more eggs here. I usually, when I make these, I make a double batch. Well, that was good. I'm not going to make a double batch today. And I got no shell. Yes, I did get a shell in there. Go figure. We're going to get him out. And that's how easy it is to get that shell out of there. But I usually make a double batch. Oh, I absolutely love the way this stove works. Love it. I'm not making a double batch today, because this is just for my granddaughters. And what they don't eat, I'll divvy up and they can take home. Okay, so next we're going to put in 4 cups of sugar. And put that right here. This is not diet friendly. This is so full of sin it should be illegal. But these are good. 4 cups of sugar. 7 eggs. 2 cups of butter. I mean, it's like, you know, they're good. All right, I'll set that aside. Then we're gonna let this mix up. Let that get whipped up pretty good. Get on there. Okay. We're gonna let that mix. I'm going to make sure this gets melted real good. And it's melting beautifully. Just on that little bit of low. Oh, that soup is... I can't wait to have the soup tonight. Okay, I'm going to turn this up. All right. So, I'm going to take this out of here for just a second and just set that in my sink. My sink is clean. Set that down in my sink because I want to put 2 cups of cocoa powder in, but I want to run it through the sifter so there's no chunks in it. I hate these things. I think it's nice that they send them, but they're not very effective. So we want 2 cups of cocoa powder going in here. And my cocoa powder tends to get a little lumpy. I better put a little more in there. All right. Then we can set this aside. Then I'll run that cocoa powder right through that sifter with the spatula. Let me check this. Oh, yeah. That really does a nice job. Okay. That ought to be done by the time I'm done sifting this through. That way you don't have any chunks of cocoa powder in your stuff. I can't tell you. I make these all the time. Every other day I'm making 2 batches. There's been times I've made 4 batches because my customers at my market stand love them so much they'll order, you know, pans of them. And yes, I've given the recipe away quite a few times. I don't think this recipe is in any of my cookbooks though. Maybe the next one. But that'll be a little while. All right. We can set that down here. Put this back up. We'll let that mix real slowly. Okay, this butter is almost melted. Just a little more to go. All right, I want to get my vanilla out. And this recipe does not call for baking powder. And somebody had asked me that once already. If I don't put baking powder in it, it doesn't call for it. But it does call for a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm only going to put half of the salt in. It calls for a teaspoon. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon in because my butter is salted, I do believe. Okay. All right, now we're going to I'm going to leave that right there. We're going to put 3 cups of flour in here. And when my grandbabies get here, they'll want the bowl, the paddle. So will my husband. There's 3 in there. 3 cups of flour. And I got the vanilla and the salt in there. We're going to let this mix just a little bit. And it calls for, I'll turn it off. It calls for a half cup of milk, my recipe does. But I find that I put milk in the very last ingredient I put in as milk, because normally it's anywhere from a half to 3/4 of a cup. It's not going to be perfect half. It just never works that way. There's been times I've put all 3/4 cup in. It's warm, but it's not too hot. See, I can put my finger in there. So we're going to dump this butter right down in there as that's going. And don't waste any of that good butter. I'm going to let this mix real good. It gets so loud. So I'm just going to let this mix, turn on some music, and I'll be back. Okay, now we'll put our milk in. It calls for 1/2 cup, so that's what we'll start with, is 1/2 cup. And I guarantee I'll have to put a little more in there. Just a dot more, maybe a tablespoon more. I know the consistency I'm looking for. Okay, that's beautiful. Perfect. Now I've got to save. I've got to save this for my grandchildren. So I'm going to set this on a plate. Actually, I'm just going to set this in this bowl. Oh, they'd be all broken-hearted if I didn't save them that. Okay, so here, I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to set the oven to 350. Oh, I love that thing. Okay, so here we go. I got my pan sprayed. This Big Batch Brownies, friends, all I know is it fits into an 18 by 13 pan. I don't know if you can put it in two 9 by 13 pans. I don't know. All I know is I always make it. I put it in my 18 by 13, my half sheet pan. So I'm going to give this a little whisk or a little mix here. This is beautiful. All right, here we go. Look at how beautiful that comes up. Thick and gorgeous. It is easy to make, really. It's just quite fattening, but, you know, it's good for a crowd of people. It's good to take to a potluck for a dessert. Oh my gosh, it would be a huge hit at a potluck. Or to church. I've taken this to church before, and they love it. Anytime I have a party or a gathering or something going on, I always make a pan of these brownies. It's the best thing I can to take. Best thing I make to take anywhere. I love it. Look how beautiful that is. All right. You want to make sure it gets in all the corners. Really nice. Okay. And I got a little bit in there for the grandbabies. They're going to love it. All right. As soon as my oven heats up, it's going to go in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And depending on your oven, well, you know what? I have to watch this really close now because this is a new oven. I've never baked brownies in this oven. So I'm going to keep track of it. But I know my old oven was exactly 30 minutes and it was good. I had that down to a science. So I'll just keep a close eye on this one, and when it's done, I'll tell you just how long it took in this oven. I don't know if gas bakes faster than electric or vice versa, but I don't have it on convection bake. I have it on just plain bake. So I'll be back when that's done, and the soup is doing good. Okay, friends, we made the brownies and they turned out beautiful. They were in the oven. I'll show them to you. A beautiful pan of brownies. Now this is how I usually sell them, just like this. I don't frost them. Beside of that, they baked 25 minutes in my new oven. So 5 minutes faster. But I usually just cut them up and I wrap them like that and I sell them plain in my market stand. But for my grandbabies, I'm going to frost them. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to need some more butter. We're going to need another half cup of butter for these brownies, for frosting. So we're going to turn that middle one on. And we're going to let that melt. Okay? And while that's melting, it won't take long. We're going to, I need 4 cups of this powdered sugar. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. That makes a mess. Okay, and there's nothing fancy into mixing this. You just put it all in there and mix it together. And we need 2/3 cup of cocoa. And we're going to put this through the screen because I don't want chunks in this either. So there's 1/3 and there's 2/3. Okay. Let me set that aside. Okay. We'll get this pushed through here real quick. I gotta make sure my camera's on. I've done it too many times and not had my camera on. Okay, that's in there. Now we're gonna need a 1/2 cup of milk. And pour it all in. There's a 1/2 cup. You won't need any more than that either. It's pretty accurate. We're also going to need a teaspoon of vanilla. Perfect. And now our butter. And it's not too hot. If it doesn't burn your finger, it's okay. Put everything in here all at once. Okay? We're going to need that to scrape down the sides. Oh, I'm sorry, that's noisy. Oh, I need my Now we got everything in there. We're going to mix this up. So this is loud. Start out slow. That powdered sugar will be all over your kitchen. And just turn it up a little at a time. Let it mix real good. Alright, when it gets mixed in, we're going to scrape down these sides. Get all that in there. Okay. And just let it mix. You might have to scrape down the sides a couple, 2 or 3 times. And it'll work. Okay. And I like to whip it. Okay. That's all it's going to take. Who wants the beater? One gets the beater and the other will get...
bowl.
You want the bowl?
Yeah.
Here's the beater, baby. There you go. You get the bowl and the spatula, Nene.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pour this right out on here. Oh yes, I'm saving her some. There you go, sweetheart.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. We're just going to mix or spread this around all over. Like to get it right up to the edges. Twirl it again. Get it right up to the edges. Okay. And there we have it. That's how nice. You want the spatula?
Yes.
That's mine.
That's Papa's. Go give it to Papa. I tell you, they all fight over it. This is going to get noisy.
I'm all done.
Are you all done? You can put it or go around this way. Right here. Go around behind me. All right, now we're going to sprinkle this because this is for my grandkids. So I'm going to sprinkle this really nice and make a big mess on my counter, but that's okay. You'd think we're having a birthday party, but we're not. It's just a slumber party, and I get to spoil them because I missed them so much when we worked on our house. All right. I think that looks pretty good. And that's done. Take a look, friends. Looks nice, hey? Okay. We've got that done. We've got our soup done. Our soup turned out fantastic. I need to tell you about Bok Choy. I got it. Okay, Bok Choy. I knew Bok Choy was good for you, but I didn't know just how good it was for you until I did this. Okay, Bok Choy is like a nutrient dense vegetable. It contains vitamins A, K, C, B1, B2, B3, B6. It contains calcium, potassium, phosphorus, selenium, zinc, copper, and magnesium. The vitamin C will help fight free radicals. It also helps reduce the risk of skin damage from sun and smoke and pollution. It aids in a natural collagen production, which we all know that's good for everything. Your hair, skin, teeth, nails, bones, everything. Helps fight signs of aging. Well, that's why it's my best friend. Anyway, it also helps to ensure a healthy pregnancy. So you see, Bok Choy is fantastic. And all you really need to get all the benefits of Bok Choy is 1 cup a day. Fantastic. You can throw that in salad. You can eat it raw. Every part of the plant is edible. You can eat it raw. You can steam it. You can, boil it, put it in soup, put it in your soup, stews, casseroles. You can get that cup of Bok Choy in your diet every day. So anyway, I'm going to show you a bowl. We're going to dish up a bowl of this beautiful soup. And I'll show it to you. And it smells divine. We don't have to add anything to it. I tasted it and it is just simply delicious. So there we have it, friends. Look at that gorgeous bowl of soup. It's beautiful, and it is delicious. So there you have it, friends. We did some beautiful Bok Choy soup, and we did some gorgeous homemade brownies. I will put the recipe for the brownies in the description box. The Bok Choy soup, you see, I make it different every single time I make it. You can make it any way you want to. As long as you get a little Bok Choy in there, you're good to go. And all the vegetables that you like, you can make yourself a delicious pot of soup that will last for a few days in your fridge. You can freeze it, you can freeze dry it. Wonderful. So there you have it, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen. I am going to go and spend some time with my granddaughters that are here. And then we're going to come back in here and we're going to make some lunch lady pizza for their dinner. You all have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next video. And thanks for watching. Over.
It smells good. I want some.
You want some Bok Choy?
Yeah.
Here you go. You take that bowl. Taste it. I told him that you kids love cabbage and...
It's good.
There you go. You can have that bowl. Cracker. You want some crackers?
Yes, please. Oh, may I please have some?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let me get you a dish too.
Thank you.
Papa won't eat it. You know why Papa won't eat it? There's mushrooms in it. The hell no. Do you want lots of veggies or more broth?
More broth, please.
More broth? Ooh, what about a big chunk of chicken?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
yes, please. Is that too much? Is that good? Want a little pepper on it?
Yes, please.
Of course. We'll hold that hungry. You want pepper, Nene?
Okay, dear.
Tell me when.
That's good.
Okay. Why do you need your spoon?
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.